Yeah, you should cut yours on the other side of the room too. So, it's kind of good today. It sounds like. Yeah? Is that okay? Yeah. Okay, cool. This is more people than I expected for our history and lore of Sonic the Hedgehog panel. Really excited that everyone's so curious about, our extensive knowledge on Julia White and, Sonic and, Shadow. All those classic characters. We're going to learn something today. This is actually all the words, I'm sorry. Just in case if we were being... Yeah, we were like, what if we say that? Like, half the people leave, like, before we finish talking. So, thanks everyone for coming. I'm Troy. I am Jay in the thing.
My name is Joseph. I'm Alex.
I'm Tim. You can figure out who
We got tired of thinking of original character
names. After 2. Yeah, so this is just a Q&A thing. We have an hour and a half, so we might actually start talking about Sonic. But it's okay, because I know a whole lot.
Just keep in mind there are some questions that we won't answer. I'm sorry. There are things you want to know, but...
Any and all Sonic the Hedgehog questions we can answer.
Yeah, spoilers.
We definitely can answer those.
So
I guess just... Sorry.
We can just do like raise hands and
yes.
Try to be as fair as possible.
Yeah. It's kind of...
Yeah.
The right side of it is better than that. That's good there. Okay, so yeah, let's stop wasting time.
Yeah.
Alright, so what was your initial inspiration for all this? Where did this idea come from?
In case you have any questions, is what's the initial inspiration for all this? We get really good at answering this question. It started off on these Unhelpful forums with a thread.
Really good at answering this question. In the summer of 2009, this thread popped up on the Something Awful forums called...
That's what I just said.
Really slowly.
We have an hour and a half.
Called Let's Create Paranormal Images. And it was just started off as, hey, look how easy it is to make up these ghost pictures and stuff like that. And after a while, you used to make a research.
You need to talk faster.
You're gonna die next.
This user Victor search came up with a character called the Slender Man, and the thread really latched onto it and started spawning all these pictures, just little short stories, even audio stuff, and Troy was like, let's
Very not available. Connect to the entry.
No, you got it. It's fine.
And,
no, I'm actually and then I called Joseph, who was working at a video game store at the time. It was like, hey, are you doing anything right now? But he wasn't. It's summer, and I didn't want to find a real job, so I just called Joseph. I was like, hey, you want to do a thing? And he was like, sure, I'm not doing anything else. Yeah. And then that happened, and entry, or the introduction entry, and entry 1 posted on the same day. Yeah. So after that, we were like, man, if like 500 people watch this, it'll be worth it. And then a lot more people than we ever expected started watching it, and it kind of snowballed from there. So the initial inspiration, to answer your actual question, was Victor Surge's.
which eventually just evolved into our operator character. That's one of the nice things about being on the internet and like being on, I guess, bleeding edge of an internet meme like that is we were able to pick and choose the parts that we liked and keep those, make up new stuff, and create our own character.
Yeah, for example, we didn't like it wasn't ours. It was Eric Hudson's feature search on the Something Awful forums. He started the original like 2 or 3 photoshops that he did.
Yeah.
With some like fake backstory, and so he started it.
It was like 2 pictures in a paragraph, and everyone like just ran with it.
Yeah. So he kind of started the whole thing, and we just kind of took that concept and made it what it is now. Yeah. That's what it is now.
We told our story.
Yeah. And it got way out of control. Is there anyone over here? No. Oh, no. You were on that side. Blonde girl. Yes. Sorry, I can't see.
How do you come up with the ideas for like the 2 art videos?
Sometimes when I'm bored, I do weird stuff. On videos, like if we don't have... Originally, 2D art was started, we didn't have any net shot anything in a while. Or maybe I did them all, but I was bored anyway. So like we didn't have any new footage, and I was like, I'm gonna make another thing. And I was like, I'm gonna make it weird, because people are always like, we want because people were expecting like puzzles and stuff, and I was like, I can try to do that. And so I was just, bored one day and started the first 2D art video. It's kind of become supplementary material, I guess, for the entries themselves, like just kind of extra information that isn't completely required for because we're never gonna put on the 2D art channel. We're not gonna put like a big reveal or anything that people might possibly miss. So it's just kind of like extra stuff for the people that want to see it, and for whenever I'm bored, I guess.
Also, as for how he comes up with the ideas, there's 2 phrases that I hear a lot. It's, so I had this idea in the shower yesterday, or so I had this idea right before I fell asleep yesterday.
Yeah.
So those are the Troy Wagner witching hours.
When I'm naked and trying to sleep, which is usually the same thing. There's been a few there's been like 1 or 2 2D art videos where they're actually like really weird dreams that I had. Like I don't actually call.
Who are you?
Yeah, the one that was set up like the one that basically had the words on it that said "You are who you are, who are you." That one. That was just like a really weird dream I had. I remembered it when I woke up, and I was like, "That make a really cool thing." So I did. Yeah. Thanks. Yeah, it makes me sound like we have no idea what we're doing on that side, but
It's not supported.
it's not. Yeah, it's not story for it. It's kind of the experimental channel, I guess. Whatever. Yeah. You right there. Yeah. You. Yeah. You got a glasses.
How long does it usually take to shoot an entry, and what's your favorite entry that you've done so far?
Time to shoot the entry, it kind of depends on, it kind of depends on what is going on in it, because we've had entries that are able to shoot in a day, we've had some that have taken upwards of a week or 2, like there was one
Entry 52 with Jesse in the woods.
52.
At the end of season 2. That took, I think, like 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, with the gun.
Yeah.
And then 59, where I have the shouting match with Jay in the parking lot. That one took. We kept going back to that parking lot and rehearsing it every night for like a week or so. We finally nailed it. So it really depends.
It wasn't really a whole lot of weeks. I didn't really say a whole lot of you, but yeah, you were very into getting it right, which
And then there are instances when I see the entry right before it's posted, I'm like, we need to reshoot it all.
Yep.
So that I can add on.
well, we've all done that at some point or another.
As for favorite entry to shoot, or favorite entry as in like final product?
Both.
Because I think my favorite entry still is probably entry number 6, when just down in the basement, going across the window. But that was not fun to shoot.
That's good. There's like
365 just because it was so different. Because like, yeah, it was.
Can you remind me which 365 was?
The chest cam where I'm underwater.
Oh yeah.
Just because
that was your favorite?
Well, just because I hadn't really done anything like that before, so it was, it was so.
You didn't act like it was your favorite when you were doing it.
At the time, it wasn't, but in retrospect, I was like,
yeah.
I'm really glad I did that. And, it's the one where Tim has the chest cam on and he's, all over the place and he falls into the river. It's because I was actually jumping into the river in like October.
It's kind of cold.
Yeah, it was.
I thought I'd have to do that.
You got to stand on the bank and go, okay, do that again. Just jump harder. There was one take where I jumped in back first because I wanted it aiming up, but it wasn't really usable because it hits the water and then it shoots right back up over the surface and you just hear
I actually have video of that. I shot it on my phone of you doing that. I wish I could show it to all of you. DVD extras. For me to shoot, I would say that's a good example. That was fun to shoot.
That had Chris in it too, didn't it? Because that was like.
Oh yeah.
That was a blast because the dead guy was really drunk.
Oh yeah. When it's like night, all of a sudden Tim sees the dead guy lying on the ground, and that guy
had to make sure he wasn't actually passed out.
Yeah, he was like, we just kind of called him. We're like, hey, you want to be in Marble Hornets again? He was like, yeah, sure, I've been drinking though. Yeah, so we just like.
And we're like in the parking lot, and we're like, okay, we needed to change into the shirt. Okay, yeah, that's cool.
And it was like 20 degrees outside.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was really cold. Yeah, that was. I forgot about that.
It's like face down in a puddle of blood. We're like, you okay down there? Yeah, I'm good.
He gets up and his face is just like, it's all in his hair and everything. And he's like, oh, that's great. It's fun. Yeah, that was really fun intro to shoot just because we got to do so much stuff.
Yeah.
It was just like, we kind of just said right off the bat, like, there's nothing off limits right now. We can like edit it, later. If we don't like how it looks, there's a handful of shots that we thought would look really cool that didn't jive with the rest of it, so we had to check it out. But at the time, we're just like, whatever, let's shoot it. Cool. So that was really fun. I think that might actually be my favorite issue so far too.
Because that camera is kind of a gamble to shoot with anyway because it doesn't have a preview screen on it. It just saves to an SD card, so you just have to press record, and then whenever you get home, you just kind of have to hope that it looks good, so you don't have to do it again.
Well, the shot of you getting dragged down the hill. Since we don't really have like there's a head mount for those cameras, we don't have it. So we just kind of wrapped it around Tim's head.
No, we tried that and that didn't work. So because it's supposed to be on chest, but it would just be facing the ground. So we tried to wrap the strap around my head, and that didn't work. So I just held the base in my teeth, and then just like, all right, drag me now. Just holding it out.
Yeah.
Movie magic.
Yeah.
When in doubt, put the camera in your mouth. Did we all answer? Okay. Thank you. I've got one over here. Richard? Yeah.
Hey.
It's hard to see because these
these lights.
Okay. If you could go back and do anything like all over again, like is there something like you would change or make different?
Yeah. I think how we approached, like, we say the story in a joking manner, it's like, yeah, scrap it all, but no.
No, I meant the story that you told, not the actual story itself.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was vague.
To be really specific about it, the entry where Alex is in the woods telling the story, that caused a lot of confusion, because one, I absolutely hate watching myself on camera, and I think that's terrible, and this is
fine.
I hate it so much, so I'd love to redo it from that aspect. But also, it caused a lot of confusion because people thought we were doing like but in a more broader sense, how we approach the story early on, especially the first season, because we never saw it going on, because this was just a board summer project, and then we're like, oh god, if we end it right now, people are going to hate us so much. So the way season 1 was written was, it was literally just little note cards with what we thought would be a cool shot. That was it. It was basically the version of making a Photoshop. It's like, oh, Photoshop, this would look really cool, except it's video form. It was just one-off video.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And
there's a really weird analogy.
yeah. I was just trying to associate what the thread was doing with just one-off stories.
Yeah.
So even though they had characters in them that remained constant, it was just kind of like, okay, this is a thing that happens. And then we kind of created a story out of that. And now we're filling in the blanks as we go. And it makes it a lot more difficult than it has to be.
Yeah.
So I think...
Well, we've gotten a little bit better about it in season 3. We write like 3 or 4 entries ahead. And we know, we really have the whole story finished. We're not finished, but we know what's going to happen now at least. Because there was a while there where it's roughly when season 3 started, we had the first 5 or 6 episodes done. Or not done, but written.
And entry number 60 in the tunnel, like that was,
yeah.
You've been wanting to do that since before the end of season 2, I think.
Yeah. That would be one of my least favorite ones to shoot. I lost my train of thought. What was I saying?
Just how we're better about writing now.
Oh, okay, yeah.
There was a point, though, like, really towards the beginning of season 2 where we were just cursing season 1's names. Like, oh my god, we have to answer this.
Yeah.
We never thought we would have to.
Yeah, what I was saying at the beginning of season 3 was we were like, we know how it starts, we know how it ends, we know the ending. We tweaked the ending a few times, but it's pretty much stayed the same.
Yeah.
We're like, we know the beginning of season 3, we know the ending of season 3. How do we get there? Like, what's all the stuff in between? So that was kind of like banging your head against the wall for a long time, but now we kind of, in broad strokes, we have it all written out. If we would have known it would have gone on this long, it probably would have been better because we would know, like, hey, we had to answer all these questions, let's get it all written out first. So,
although on the other side of the coin, I guess it has made us get creative with some of the ways we do answer questions, which has worked out well in some entries.
yeah.
If I could change anything, I would have worn a different shirt in my first appearance.
Instead of a shirt with a monkey.
Yeah, neon yellow and red with a monkey holding a gun on it.
I would have changed that too. Just kidding. It's a great shirt. Did you say you wanted to wear it here?
I was going to. I forgot. Whatever.
Yes.
All right. Your series and the Slenderman myth itself has spawned a lot of other series. Are there any you actually enjoy watching besides your own? Are there any you would consider a crossover with?
I personally have watched snippets of those other things, but we kind of sat down one day and we're like, we should probably like not watch them because we're like we think we're better than them or anything. We're just like we don't want to be accidentally influenced by them too much. Like Everyman Hyper Tribe Told whatever. Like we've watched a few of them, and a lot of them have really cool concepts and stuff. But we're like, we kind of want to make sure that we don't accidentally steal something. So we don't want to have any chance for that to happen. So
we are aware of them, and we do talk to their creators every once in a while. Just like in the we're Facebook friends. Hey, what's up?
Yeah, how's it going?
We don't
what do we
shop
get
all
ourselves
the
into?
things.
Yeah.
And as far as crossovers go, that was one thing we said from the very beginning is we just don't want to because it's so complicated.
Yeah.
And
because with crossover type stuff, you not only have to pay attention to your own story, you have to make sure it meshes with the other person's too, the other whatever series things.
some of the parody videos.
We were big fans of Marvel Cut Boys. Anyone's ever seen those? There was one. Oh crap! I saw like 1 or 2 episodes of it, and I thought it was really cool because it was so different. Shoot, Hot Not Sleeping, is that one? Is that one of them? Yeah. It was like really crazy, really cool, and really well put together, and I was a big fan of that. And I watched like a couple episodes of that. That was a really good one. I like that one. Okay. Go farther. Wait, we haven't gotten this side, so it's second row.
Yes, you. Sorry.
I'm not very good at this. Out. Are we?
Okay, who's buddy? How do you find all of the abandoned locations, and also like how do you wreck your houses for the entries? How do you find them?
We're just complete slobs. You know, I say that as a joke, but Shay's apartment in season 1 really was just mine.
Kind of gross and terrible looking.
Entry 18 was a lot of fun to shoot when we got to wreck the apartment.
Oh yeah, that's where we.
And we didn't tell our other roommate that we were doing it.
Just like just over, tore a bunch of paper on the ground. Just kind of came back and like, we're shooting a video. Go away.
Abandoned locations. There's so many where we live. We actually have. There are more abandoned locations we know about than we have reasons to use them, which is disappointing because there's a couple of really cool ones, but it's like we don't.
It's an embarrassment of riches. Broken down, very scary riches.
And also a lot of them are kind of in around the same area. Like it's almost like our studio back lot.
Except we may necessarily not have.
That's all.
You stop recording at that part. Yeah, there's been a few times where we've like to look for locations. We just kind of walked in a direction in the woods and see if we found anything. And it actually worked a few times.
Yeah, like the little shack
that
that
Tim wake up in season 3. We just kind of stumbled across that one day. We're like, hey,
yeah, it's not that far from where he lives. We're like, hey, there's this trail that goes down into the woods. Let's see if there's anything down there, which is probably not the best thing to do in a place like that.
It's amazing what people have forgotten about those buildings just out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, the abandoned hospital and everything, that's kind of all around in the same area. So.
And luckily it's big enough that we're actually able to use it a lot and it's different locations.
Yeah. So yeah, it kind of feels like our studio, but it's not.
We just need a golf cart.
Yeah, we should have a golf cart out there.
Segways.
Yeah, segways. Segways.
We can only afford one, so we have to share it.
We just kind of like hit on each other's shoulders. I'm done with that. Where's the microphone? We will let you choose people now.
Because we're bad. Just random.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
You can do it.
I'm not gonna find one.
All right, so we know your favorite one, your favorite episode, so entries. What was the one that you didn't like to actually shoot?
Didn't like
the one that
shooting?
you did like kind of regret shooting. Yes.
Okay. You already.
Yeah, mine is story time. I don't like how that turned out. It wasn't the worst to shoot though, other than the constant just I hate this. But I don't know, it wasn't that bad to shoot. I just didn't like how it turned out.
Sorry.
It's not your fault. It's my fault. Terrible.
Okay. As long as I didn't do anything wrong.
Let's see, what was a rough one to shoot?
I think you know, in season 1, it was I think the pool house. Remember that one? Yeah. You don't remember that? It was really hot.
Oh my god, yes.
Yeah.
Well, it's like a library now.
Yeah.
It's a transportation museum.
It's a train museum.
Yeah.
A bus museum.
I can't remember what number it was, but it was the
On
one.
the Tuscaloosa, we have lots of attractions like that.
It was the one where the operator symbol was like chalked into the ground outside of that stone building.
Oh, now that I think about it, it's actually the first appearance on camera that Jay has. So that one.
Yeah. That one was brutal, just because it was so hot.
It was really, really
and
hot.
we only had like one bottle of water or
It was
something
stupid.
for like 3 people.
And it took like 3 or 4 hours to shoot too. So like once we were finished, like our water was gone after like an hour. So we were just dying by the time we left, and we were just like driving home in complete complete silence because we were so mad at each other. It's like, I hate being here. I hate you. I hate everything. So that one was rough. There hasn't really been one that was just like awful like that to shoot. Aside from the tunnel one. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The tunnel one.
At least we felt accomplished after that.
Yeah, that was entry 60, right?
Yes.
Yes, the one where Jake goes down to the tunnel. That was really awful to shoot because that tunnel, I don't know if you can tell in the video itself, but the...
It doesn't look as claustrophobic as it actually is.
It looked pretty claustrophobic, but it was more so than it even looked, because it was like, especially Joseph was really tall. Like,
Yeah,
it was
6'1" in a tunnel that is maybe 3 feet tall.
Yeah.
Just
hunched over, and it's dirty, and
you can't keep your arms really at, like, bring them out, so you're like this the entire time.
you're like, shut up.
I had school that day.
And it's pitch black, and there's like holes that I hit my head on.
I hit my head on. Yeah, because there's just oh my god. There was one take where we were doing something, and obviously Joseph was not in front of the camera or anything, and so like I was just like, okay, I'm rolling, and Joseph's like, okay, I'll be back here, and I start like running down the tunnel, and I hear like, ah! Joseph just like smacks his head on like this one like.
It like used to be a light thing or something, so it was just metal.
It sounded so bad. I have like I was recording that, so like I hear that. It sounded so painful. Yeah, that one was not fun to shoot, but it turned out pretty well. Like we did feel accomplished after that, at least.
Yes.
Yeah. What about you, Tim?
Least favorite. I mean,
They've all been terrible for you.
Yeah. I don't really have any that really stand out as being like, oh, that was really awful. Like, at one point I would have said 65 for that one, but in retrospect, I'm glad we did that. So
Tim's our go-to, just hurt yourself for the shot person.
That's kind of
I'm the guy that really has no sense of personal harm, so I'm like, yeah, I'll jump off that.
Yeah. Yeah. You did jump off a lot of things for that.
I did.
Not always into water.
You might, yeah. That's, I guess you could kind of sum up Entry 65 as just kind of like a list of things Tim can jump off of.
Yeah, it kind of was that one.
It's like, okay, now hang on this and
let go.
Now do that 3 more times. We're good.
Tim's knees are gonna just like go out in 10 years. It's gonna be all my fault. I'm sorry. Yeah. As far as actual like entry that I didn't like, I've all kind of. I had to deal with them a lot because I edit them. So short. Like I have hated every entry at some point. I had to stare at it for so long editing it. So all of them for me.
You still can't remember entry numbers.
We still can't remember entry numbers. Yeah. That's kind of the problem with not naming them things other than numbers. It's like which one was 63? I don't remember. They just all kind of live together. But after they've been posted, I can go back and look at it and be like, okay, it's not that bad. So I like all of them and I hate all of them. Yeah. All right.
How did you make the Slender suit? And is there anybody in it? Also, Tim, is it hard to force yourself to cough? And does your throat hurt after? So I was wondering about that.
We can't answer the first question. Sorry.
And the second one, no, it isn't hard. Yes, it hurts.
Yeah. All of us have had to do it at some point.
I mean, it's not like fake or anything. Like I just straight up force myself to cough. Like
you're really good at it now.
On the to the verge of making myself throw up a couple times. Even.
Yeah.
So yeah. So it's not comfortable, but you know, I think I would bring like a bottle of honey or like some kind of throat spray by now.
No, you just smoke.
So I just which makes it worse.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I actually rubbed fiberglass on the back of my throat.
Well, it's funny with like as far as being able to cough.
Gargled nails.
going or like being able to cough very well. Like smoking actually helps that, I guess. So
it's all very crap.
Yeah. We'll say that. Sorry, we can't answer the actual operator suit question because we feel like if we did could answer it and be like, oh, it's just that.
Yeah.
That's not scary anymore. So you don't want
I
to.
think you want it.
You think you want to know, but if we told you, you'd be like, no. Sorry.
Speaking of which, I remember the entry, I think it was the first one, we went to the abandoned house in season 1, or maybe it was one of the times after where Jay just collapsed his coughing and everything. You were particularly sour about that one because you made yourself feel ill. Because we had to do so many takes of it.
Yeah, so I knew how Tim
And
felt
we had to
before
do it
Tim knew
again.
how he felt.
We had to do it again for the 2D art videos too.
Oh yeah, well I didn't have to actually talk about it. I just had to act like I was coughing because it's quiet. There's no sound. Yeah. So yeah, coughing is hard to do. It's
Sacrifices we make.
Yeah. It really is Tim. You're the one that gets to cough a lot now.
Yep. You know, I'm like really good at it now. I might not look like it, but I'm really
Put it on a resume.
yeah, really good at coughing. Like show up at a talent agency in Los Angeles, be like, I'm really good at this.
You got to guy number 2 on there.
You gotta do some cough sound to make.
Enough of that.
I have 2 questions. One, how did you manage to get all the footage from like these like tree? What was it? What was the home video one?
Sorry, what was that again? Can you say that again?
How did you find the footage for like I don't remember the name of it, but it had like 2 ends in it. It was like
It was one of the highlights. Was that
yeah,
the
one of the
highlights?
Was it that one?
Was it the one with like a narrator over the top of it?
the birthday party.
Oh, birthday party.
Oh, yeah.
That is actually footage from like a friend of a friend's kid's birthday party.
He just happens to be named Alex.
Yeah, they just happened to be named Alex, and we don't know if they actually know what the footage was used for.
Yeah, our friend in Los Angeles was like, I know a guy who's got a son named Alex, and he gave me this birthday party stuff.
It's kind of creepy by itself, you know?
Yeah.
I didn't have to ask. He just gave it to me one day. I don't know why.
So he's there and he's like, here, Troy, just make it look weird.
That was our first big blunder, too, with it.
Oh, yeah.
Having to take down an entry.
That's the only time that's ever happened. Well, no, that's the first out of 2 times that we
Yeah.
have to take it down. And that, in case you know about it already, there's like a kid in the background for that had like a SpongeBob shirt on it. And we were like, oh wait, SpongeBob wasn't out when that happened.
In
That's supposed to happen in 1991. So we were like, take that down real quick, fix it, put it back up, maybe no one will notice.
They noticed.
They noticed it. So that was like our first, I mean, we haven't really had that many mistakes like that, thank God. So, is it not just plastic? You said you had another question.
Yeah, are you ever going to release a feature-length Shadow's birthday movie?
Release a feature-length Shadow's birthday fan fiction, maybe.
Yeah.
That was it. That was the entire
If you
story.
want to write a Happy Birthday Shadow like feature-length script, then we'll think about it. We'll put it under consideration.
I will be mildly happy to draw it and everything.
Yeah.
I'll be really happy at first. I'll be like, why did I do this?
All of the work.
I'll set up my headset mic on the table and bump it occasionally.
Yeah.
We'll just sit there and watch him draw every day for like a month straight, you know, or like 3 months straight or whatever.
Yeah, I would love to do that. Write us Shadow the Hedgehog fan
There's
fiction.
about 120 pages worth of.
Please don't do that. Give us a thing. Make it as terrible as you want. And
Yeah, if it's good, we can't use it. So
Yeah.
that's a paradox.
Yeah. As long as it doesn't involve penises or something, we'll do it. We'll do it. So yes.
After filming the series for so long, have any of you had like recurring Slenderman nightmares?
I've had nightmares where we shot something and then I dropped the camera.
Yeah, I've had dreams about shooting Marble Hornets.
Yeah.
But never.
You mean nightmares?
Some of them went pretty well.
You had dreams of it going smoothly for once.
It was nice, and then I woke up and it was
like,
sad.
no.
No, I don't know. I've never had any
It's kind of hard to find it scary when we're doing it because we know like
everything about it.
Yeah, so it's like it's hard to be scared of it when it's like, oh, it's
like when we first started, there were times when I would get creeped out. There was one time in particular we were shooting. It was actually entry number 6, and I had side plans out so bad that I felt this thing brush up against my arm, and I just jumped. I was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. It was a cat. It was his brother's cat. It just brushed up against my arm. It was right for a minute. And I lost my mind.
Well, you're also an incredibly junky person.
Yeah, I know.
So that probably didn't help. Also, in season, what's the season? I guess we went to the hospital at night.
Yeah.
We went to that place at night. It was just me and Joseph. And it just rained, and it was really, really creepy. And it was pitch black. And that would be
the water was dripping around, so it constantly sounded like footsteps.
Yeah, we were in the basement, and far into the basement were like these showers or whatever, so it's the tile, and there are holes all throughout the building, and so water was falling from above and hitting the tile, and just sounded like footsteps, and then the wind is going through, sounded like whispers. It was freaky. I didn't like it. We were ready to get out there.
You were very ready to get out of there. You're like, I think we got it. You're sick.
So no nightmares while asleep. Waking nightmares, kind of.
I do have a weird recurring nightmare about shooting it, where we're shooting on a bridge and I drop the camera off the bridge. I know, it's terrible. Like it's the bridge that goes over the Blackberry River up there. So it's like the really high up one. Yeah. And I'm just like, whoops, and it falls down. Like, I guess Hornets is over now. And then I wake up and I'm like,
find the camera.
So yes, we do have nightmares.
That was really bad since, for the last one, it was actually shot walking across that bridge, so.
No, it wasn't that bridge, it was the one that only cars would go over, but it didn't have the fence. This is really important information for all of you.
Yeah.
Next question. Slacking, man.
Do you make it a point in life to just mess with me?
Yes.
We can.
I have been. You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
Throughout the filming of Marble Hornets, how many serious injuries have you guys gotten?
That's a great question for Tim.
Yeah. I haven't really had any serious injuries, really, at all. I don't remember.
Well, you hurt yourself in some small way in every single one you're in.
Yeah, like in entry 65, I jump in rivers and jump off stuff, and I'm fine. And then I guess it was 70 or 71 where we're just walking through the park and we find the tapes buried in the ground. Just walking, I scuffed my ankle on a tree that was bleeding for several hours. So you never know what can happen. But as far as I haven't broken any bones or anything.
The entry where you had your infection in the hospital and everything, you were getting, because we shot that over 3 days, because we would go there and would feel comfortable doing it, and then we'd actually start talking, and you'd be like, I'm not feeling it, I can't do it right now, which is fine. We wanted it to be good. So we would leave, come back, rehearse, come back, shooting again. And one time, there were people walking around, so we were just like, forget it, we'll leave again. And we came back, it was the time we actually got the shot, but you got really frustrated, you kicked the wall, and didn't that hurt your foot?
Probably.
Yeah, you're like, oh, you kick the door, and you're like, ow. So yeah, it's always the low energy ones where you hurt yourself.
Yeah. It's always fun getting a cut out in those hospitals because you're like, oh man, I can't wait to see what disease I get.
It's fun. It's like roulette.
The entry where Alex gets beaten in the head with metal pipe, there were a couple of
close calls.
Yeah, and close calls.
There were close calls that you couldn't see.
So I didn't. There was one where I fell up against their hand railing things, and the handrail's gone, so it's just the metal support there. I fell on that once and tore up my back. That wasn't fun, but nothing serious yet.
That's not serious.
I don't think I've ever.
Just stay safe.
Yeah, I'm always behind the camera so I can be safe.
Yeah.
I'm fine. What else do we do?
My question was, during the abandoned like places that you've gone, has there ever been like some like crazy person that's like, get off my life, or like some police officers are like, oh, you guys can't film here or whatever?
That's happened a couple of times.
The police.
With the police.
There's also been a couple times where the police have showed up and be like, oh, you guys making a movie? Well, if you guys need a cop, just, you know.
That wasn't at the end of the building.
No.
That was just around.
There is someone that may be crazy and does have a gun that's near where we shoot. The field outside of the hospital.
Oh, yeah.
Shoot varmints.
Yeah.
Just like, we were filming on the 3rd floor of the abandoned hospital, and all of a sudden we hear these like pop noise. I'm like, that sounds like it might be a rifle. And we look out there, and there's just a guy walking through the field and just.
Yeah, there's like a cornfield outside that abandoned hospital.
So there is someone with a gun nearby.
I mean, it's also Alabama, so.
There's
no
always
matter where you
a
go,
gun nearby.
Yeah.
No real crazy people. We have been told we can't park someplace because they know what our kind of people do out those abandoned locations.
Well, we used to, before we knew about that, we would park at this church, which was nearby, and we never thought anyone was there because there were never any cars there. We parked one day, and like this lady comes out, and she's like, I know what y'all are doing out there. I know. I saw people going out there, and they were just real messed up, and I can't allow that. So they like made us move our car to like a parking lot right next to it. So it's like, yeah,
we're still going. We're just not going to park here.
We're going to go do our drugs out there. Who does that?
Apparently a lot of people.
Oh, yeah, it's everywhere out there.
Yeah,
it's like let's go get drunk at the abandoned hospital. It'll be fun. Just lug like these massive cases of beer out there.
Especially if they think it's haunted, because then it's just like, I want to get really hammered in a haunted place.
We did meet a homeless lady out there once. We were walking out and like on the road, and this lady comes there and looking a little rough. And she's like, "What are you guys doing?" We're
just real messed up.
We're shooting a series about ghosts.
Did a video for the internet.
Whatever. She's like, "Oh, well, you know the ghosts live in here. I can show you."
The ghosts live in here.
And we're like, "No, we're good." Like, you sure? Yeah, we're just gonna leave.
She was basically propositioning us.
Yeah, she's like, "Can I walk with you?"
Yeah.
No.
We just kind of ran. It was weird. Oh, I think it was the entry 60, the tunnel entry, or it was one leading up to it. We were out there, and all of a sudden these like 3 hillbilly people like piled into a truck, just like drive up to us, and we're like, please don't kill us, please don't kill us. And they just pull up to us, and it was really funny looking in retrospect, because they just like, these guys in this 2 guys with like 3 teeth in their mouth, just like
combined.
Yeah, like really rough looking lady, just like drive up, like not even looking where they're going, just driving up to us like, how y'all doing?
It's just like, you know, these guys drive up and there's just like these 3 terrified little nerds just like,
They also told us where the real ghosts live.
Well, I was going to say, like, it's kind of an unspoken rule between us. If we're ever out there and someone comes out there and asks what we're doing, we're like, we're ghost hunting. Like, that seems more believable than, well, there's this thing on the internet that,
pull up our phones, like, show them.
Yeah, like, here, let us show you. So he was like, oh, y'all was ghost hunting. Well, the ghosts live over there. Over there, I didn't see them.
We found
just so
out
we wouldn't see them stealing copper. So.
Yeah, they actually like are pulling copper out of the walls there, and just like piping and stuff. They'll hook it up to the back of the truck and pull it out. And in that entry, while we are in the tunnels, those pipes are connected to the pipes they are tearing out of the building.
The ones that were beside, like on either side.
So they like we get down there, and all of a sudden it starts rumbling. Like, we're gonna die.
I actually thought, I was like, they're gonna put these pipes and they're gonna crush us on these walls, and this is where we die.
Yeah, this is how it ends.
Yeah, I only thought that for like 5 seconds, but it was a really terrifying 5 seconds.
We're just like, what do we do? It's like, just shut up, just whatever.
It was like, right when we got down in there, we heard their truck pull up, and like, can't leave now.
We were talking, and like, eventually it stopped, thankfully. But we found out later that like, even if you're just whispering in the tunnel, right outside, like at the entrance, you can totally hear every single word.
So they heard us talking to each other, like, what do we do? What do we do? And they kept doing it. Like, what's your problem?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm just sitting in class going, I wonder what Troy Joseph is doing.
Nobody would find us. Nobody. I mean, I guess Tim knew where we were, but he doesn't really care. So.
You're just sitting there like, I'm really glad I'm not there right now. That's what you look like to at that.
That's how we sit almost.
That's how I sit in class. Just.
So yeah, that's our crazy people stories.
I don't know, I just couldn't find him. I didn't know where he was.
I like hiding.
Oh, I'm so intimidating. Look at this. Sorry, go ahead.
So, have you guys ever played the game Slender?
Yes, we wrote this. No, we played the original game and thought it was awesome, and I messaged Mark, the guy creating it. I was like,
just kind of as a Hail Mary.
Yeah, it's like, hey, I like the game a bit. It's really cool. If you ever need help, like adding story or anything like that, or basically anything, just come on, man, let me work with you. And he's like, wow, that's really cool. And then out of nowhere, when they were making the remake / sequel thing, The Arrival, Mark contacted us. He's like, hey, you wanna write this? I'm like, okay. So that happened.
That's really all we can say about it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot more that hopefully can be added eventually. They have a lot of material that didn't end up in the final game, but we have put. And
it was kind of disappointing to see that they didn't have the time because
it was
a lot of the stuff we wrote in there.
It was simply a time crunch thing.
Yeah.
Like they had a hard release date they wanted to do, and we gave them probably too much stuff. Well, obviously too much stuff to put in time. So maybe they'll see the light days.
I liked the first one because a lot of those locations looked really familiar to me. So until I could like walk around there, it's like, hey, I've been there. I've been there too.
Yeah. Just like the.
I'm so jumpy though that even on the Arrival, which I saw during beta and could even play with like God mode on and stuff, 4 pages in my max. I've never even beaten that level. And I've played, like I've skipped ahead to the next level past that, and I think I've turned on one generator and I'm just like, nope, I'm done. Middle of the day, windows are wide open, sun is on, like Pandora's on happy music. Still can't do it. Wow. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, how far have you gone?
Huh?
How far have you gone?
I finished it.
You cheated.
Cheated?
You skipped the level.
I didn't skip the level.
Yes, you did.
Oh, I skipped the third one.
Yeah.
because the beta version of it was like actually impossible. So. But yes, we have played it a lot.
Hi. You guys have touched on the tunnel a little bit. Can you go more in depth into that?
We already did.
The tunnel,
like physically.
You're funny.
Like, did you encounter any rats or anything in there? Or?
Strangely very.
Yeah, it's like
it's dirty.
We did find a beer can in there, which kind of surprised me that someone went through the effort to drink down there.
I really want to drink
like
everywhere.
One step, and you're just inhaling just dust and other stuff.
Well, there was one time when we got there. We weren't actually shooting; we were actually scouting the location. We got there and we got to the entrance of the tunnel, and we were like, "That smells like natural gas."
Yeah, there might have been a gas leak at some point.
We were like, "It smells like there could be a gas leak here," and Tim's like smoking.
I left once I smelled it.
But that's how all the Hornets almost did it for a third time. We jumped on there anyway.
Yeah, it's just this basically square underneath the building that is, I guess it's a maintenance tunnel.
It's like, it's a maintenance tunnel because it has light bulbs in it.
Luckily, since it's a square, we can't get walls because we would die if us physically, it's very.
Was it hard to fit like more than one person in there and die?
Oh yeah, it's so tight that you can't like